Yo, what is up, you guys? So I've had a video requested for a long time to show off all of the best max level PvP setups. And at this point, I have gotten to the final stance in which I do have all of the absolute min-maxed best setups for PvP. And I'm going to be showing all of those off today in this video. Obviously, a lot of the gear, unfortunately, is pack gear and raid gear. Some pay to win stuff. That is just the nature of the game. But if you are, like myself, a min-max player and you already have all this is the video for you. I'm going to be showing off all of the absolute best setups you can run on every school in the current meta. Obviously, this is going to be changing pretty soon with over the summer update with a new gauntlet and a new raid. So I will be updating this video in the future. But as of right now, these are all the best setups in max level Wizard101 PvP. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Okay, jumping right into it, I'm going to be showing you guys the best death stats for max level PvP. So first off, as you guys can see, I currently have about 11.8k HP. I'm running 204 damage, 75 resist across the board, 20 accuracy. Now this is again no pin socketed because I want to leave that up to y'all's discretion on what you want to socket. 700 crit, 700 block, 57 pierce, perfect pips. P-serve is lacking a little bit, but that is just the one sacrifice you have to make, unfortunately. 4P shads, of course, and I do have 198 Arc Mastery rating. What am I running for this? I'm currently running the Zabalba Singularity Helm, of course, from Raids, the Hunhow Singularity Mail, the Zabalba Singularity Boots, the Zabalba Singularity Sword, the 170 version, the Fell Dream Reaver Knife from Wallaroo, the Hunhow Singularity Amulet, of course, from the raid as well. Omnis Skyfarer Band, still for the Power Pips. This is my pet. I chose this pet body specifically, trying to anticipate the upcoming meta. Of course, you can use the Gloomy Goatling as from before, or you can use something else if you'd like, but this is the pet body I'm going with right now. Pierce Mount, and then the Hunhow Singularity deck. Unfortunately, most of the death gear I'm using is raids, but that is just where we are right now with how the meta is for gear. But yeah, that is the death setup. Course, what better school to go second than my original school that I made a lot of my content off in the beginning, the life school. The life stats are insane, but unfortunately, a growing theme you're going to see here is a lot of raid gear. So to go over the general stats, of course, these are again with no damage or power pen socketed. I have about 14,500 HP, which is insane. 174 damage, which is really good for a life. 71 base universal resist, 18 life resist, so I have perfect life resist, and then pretty much a really nice ability to kind of go in any direction you want with your power pens. 480 crit, life's crit is going to be bad no matter what setup you try to run, unfortunately. Almost 700 block, 50 pierce, 84 outgoing, 170 pips, 61% P-serve, 4P shads, super solid stats. The overall gear that I'm running is still the Burrower hat. You do have the ability to run these Bulba hat, but you're going to make a small trade-off with some of your stats. You're not going to have perfect pips, but you are going to gain some other stats in some other places. You also don't need the accuracy from Zabalba hat, and you're going to lose about 100 HP. So this is a viable option to run other than Burrower. I prefer Burrower, but that is another piece of gear you can play around with if you want. Hunhow robe, and then I'm running the Stalker boots. Again, 29% outgoing socketed, perfect, really super good stats on these boots. These are a world piece of boots. Thankfully, the Hunhow Xenoform sword, the 170 raid version, the Zabalba Xenoform Athame, easily the best Athame for life. It's not even close. If you compare this with the Skyfair, it really knocks it out of the park in like every single category except for block. The Xenoform Athame is amazing for life. I'm running the Hunhow Amulet again. Thrilling Skyfair band still because the outgoing and the damage is just unbeaten with these pips. Absolutely insane ring. This is the pet I'm using. If you guys need lens of any of the pets, feel free to DM me on Discord. I can try to get back to you guys when I can. Pierce Mount again, and then the Bold Dreamweaver deck with a 6% piercing socketed. These are my life stats, super solid. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So next up, I'm going to be going over my 170 Myth PvP stats. So currently I am running 11.2k HP, which is super good for a Myth. 188 damage is pretty standard, 71 resist, 29 accuracy, which is perfect. Now do keep in mind this is with no pins, so you can go towards Storm, Fire, or Balance accuracy, depending on what strategies you want to run. Personally, 639 crit, which is super competitive, 563 block. Now, the unfortunate thing about Myth is no matter what setup you really try to go with, the main stat you're going to be giving up is block on most of your gear to be able to gain resist and pierce back. There is really no way to avoid this without giving up some other vital stats that you need. So block is the one stat that Myth is going to be lacking. 62 pierce, perfect pips, 87% P-serve, and 4P shads. Now I'm currently running with this setup: Wastelander hat, Hunhow robe, the Zabalba boots, Fable Dreamweaver knife, Skyfarer band, Hunhow amulet, and the Stalker deck with the Hunhow wand. So here is the other setup that you can run on a Myth if you want to move your stats around. Instead of running the 170 Hunhow wand, you can run the 160 Zabalba. You'll gain back a little bit of fire damage, which is really good if you're using Glimpse. Instead of the Stalker deck, you would use the Reaver deck with a Pierce Jewel. The main differences you're going to see in the stats is you're going to lose about 200 HP, but you're going to gain back 1 damage and 5 whole pierce from the wand. And the deck difference, you do lose the HP and your ability to P-serve pretty much completely, but depending on what strategy you're trying to go with around P-serve, if you need it or not, this might be a better option for you. But yeah, those are the best 2 setups you're going to find on a Myth. Next up, I'm going to be showing off my 170 fire setup. So I have 11.3 HP on a fire, which is absolutely insane. 194 damage, 59 universal resist, 29 accuracy, 630 crit, 600 block across the board, 67 pierce, 100 power pips. P-serve is in the drain, 4-piece shads. The gear I'm currently running is the Wastelander Scorched Hat, the Stalker Robe, Zabalba Boots, 170 Zabalba Wand, 170 Dreamweaver Athame, the Hunhow Amulet, the 170 version, the Skyfarer Band, triple damage, Mighty Proof, Socket Brace Defy on a Lord of Summer for the extra bubble. I'm running the Clockwork Courser and the Dream Reaver deck. Now, there is a few other setups you can run with fire. The other option you have for the robe is the Hunhow Meteoric Mail. The trade-off here is you lose some accuracy, so you're gonna have to run a accuracy talent on. You're gonna lose about 500 HP, but you're gonna gain some damage, 1 resist, 1 more pierce, so you can drop the pierce mount. You do lose some blocks. You gain a good amount of crit. But yeah, that is the main trade-off there, is the HP, but you do gain 1 resist, some pierce, and some damage. The other trade-off is that you can run the Crystal Unicorn instead of the pierce mount with the Stalker Robe. And you will be able to get perfect accuracy for fire. You do lose 2 pierce, so it is personal preference. Fire does kind of just hit through shields anyway. So do you really need the 2 pierce? It is your preference. You can be able to power pops if you run this setup. Same with Banshee, Quake, Minnow, anything you want to do depending on your strat. Those are the variations you can run. But yeah, that is my 170 fire PvP setup. So next up, we have my balance PvP set. So the overall stats for balance are super solid. You get 13k HP. You can get over this mark. I just have bad health jewels. Unfortunately, you can get 13k exactly and above. 184 damage, 72 universal resist, 25 accuracy, 56 pierce, 600 block, and crit across the board. Perfect pips, 4-piece shads, 88% P-serve, and 198 arc mastery. The gear I'm currently running on my balance is the Wastelander hat, the Hunhow's Vacuum Mail, the Zabalba Vacuum Boots, the Hunhow 170 Vacuum Sword, the Def Dreamweaver Knife with 2 Pierce Jewels, the Hunhow Vacuum Amulet, the Hunhow Vacuum Ring, just the normal double damage Mighty Pet. Beetle is preferred body. That is mainly what you're going to be seeing most balances use, just because you don't really need a set bonus, and the Beetle is super good because of the universal damage, obviously. The Clockwork Courser mount with the Def Dreamstalker deck. That is my setup for my balance, and yeah, that is all. So next up, I have my max level Storm PvP setup. This is going to be a little untraditional than what a lot of you guys are used to when it comes to Storm PvP, but with how you can play in this meta, these stats are absolutely absurd. So you're going to be looking at really low resistance, which is just the nature of the fact that pretty much every school can full pierce your resist anyway. So you're better off just running weaknesses on a storm. You get 10k HP. I have bad health jewels, but you can get 10k HP if you have better health jewels. 205 damage, which is insane. Perfect accuracy for storm and for myth if you want to run minnow or quake or myth banshee, stuff like that. 700 crit, 59 pierce. Pip Conserve is bad, the 100% power pips, and 6-piece shads. The reason I have 6-piece shads is because I'm running Wastelander hat, the Stalker robe, the Zabalba boots from the raid, Zabalba wand, Reaver Athame, Hunhow amulet, Wastelander ring with an additional Shadow Pip socket because I am at perfect pip, so I don't really need the circle. I'm running a triple damage, Mighty Breaker, Sniper Pet. On an elf, I don't have the Null Dragon. Obviously, Null Dragon is better if you have it. With the Pierce Mount and the Hunhow deck. I have the Shadow Pip socketed on 2 different pieces, so I have an additional 20-piece shads. It is insane. I went first against a 4-piece shad balance and actually got the shad first. So this setup is insane if you want to run very aggressive storm. Kind of the only way to play right now. And yeah, that is all I have for the storm setup. Last but not least, I'm going to be showing off my max level Ice PvP setup. Now, Ice has arguably the best stats in the game overall, total stats, which makes me believe that once the new library spells get added with the spell elements, makes me think that Ice could be a true contender when they can actually match other schools' spells. But let's get right into the stats I'm currently running. So I have 13.6k HP on my Ice with 175 damage, 83 universal resist, 26 accuracy, 430 crit. Same with life, your crit is going to be bad. 800 block, 47 pierce, perfect pips, 61% P serve, and 4-piece shads. Absolutely insane defensive and offensive stats for an Ice. 47 pierce and 175 damage is unheard of for an Ice. But yeah, that is the current gear I have on my Ice. I'm currently running the Dreamstalker hood. Again, the shield sockets are personal preference. Same with the swords. I'm leaving those empty. Hunhouse Comet mail, the Zabalba Comet boots, the Hunhouse Comet sword, the Dream Reaver knife, the Hunhouse Comet amulet, the Arctic Skyfire band for the power pips and the good damage. Double damage, Mighty Proof Breaker. Of course, on the Blimp Buddy, because of the bubbles, you're not going to find a better pet for Ice. I'm running the Rock Mount for the 3 pips, so I can get perfect pips, and Hunhouse Comet deck for the overall HP, Arc Mastery, and block is super good. You can use a Snow Pig if you want. I don't really find Snow Pig useful. If I did, I'd pack it because I have max. But no Snow Pig for me, but it is there if you'd like to use it. You also get a free Sleet Storm you can use, along with, of course, the 2 item card bubbles, which are super nice to have. That is my Ice setup. Maybe Ice will be really competitive now with the new spells. I guess we'll have to see, but that is all I have for this setup video. If you guys demand to see a Storm, I will make an additional add-on video to this with a Storm setup and some gameplay. But other than that, I am pretty much expecting to have to remake this entire video when we get the new updated gauntlet gear with the raids again, upcoming in the summer and in the spring updates. So I will be updating this video. Look out for that when those officially drop. But that is all I have for you guys for this one. If you guys have anything else you'd like to add or any other setups you want me to look at, feel free to drop them in the comments or add me on Discord. And I will see you guys in the next one.